Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. But for all my warrior brothers out there, this is Sneaky Raccoon saying hello. And for all the people who are out there who are just my brothers and sisters, but not connected through the Mankind Project or Path to Spirit, glad that you're here too. It's Wednesday. That means it's my bad joke day. I love to tell this one, especially to the rabbi, because if you don't make fun of your own tradition, whether it's conservative reform or ultra orthodox, you're missing the fact that, in my opinion, Spirit, God, has a great sense of humor that just won't quit. So this non-Jewish man decides to convert because he loves his wife so much and she's Orthodox. So he goes through the whole process, and on their wedding, he goes to the rabbi and says, "Rabbi, I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask." He says, "The rabbi says, sure, anything. What do you want?" "Well, during the wedding, can I dance with my wife?" "Oh, no, 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 no. Men dance separately, women dance separately." "Okay. Well, what about eating the meal?" "Oh, no, 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 no. The men eat separately, the women eat separately." "All right. Well, have some other questions. Anything you want to say?" "Well, how about sexuality?" "Go ahead. Nothing's off the table." Well, is it all right to do man on top, woman on the bottom, what they call missionary position? Well, in Judaism, we don't call it missionary position, but that's fine. Well, what about the other way? Woman on top and man on the bottom? Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But what about doggy style? It's a little kinkier, but there's nothing in the halacha text that said you shouldn't do that. Well, what about doing it standing up? Oh, no, no, no. That could lead to dancing. Okay, so we'll let that one slide as it is. I don't know all the answers, but that's one of the beautiful things about being alive. You can constantly revision what life is about, what your life is about. Is there meaning to be found? Is there purpose to be found? Well, there is if you're creative, but it takes a long time sometimes to digest these things. Like they say, how does a snake swallow an elephant? Slowly, one thing at a time. But throughout this all, there's a sense of presence, not only in the sense of one's own awareness saying, I am here, I exist, I'm alive, I'm so damn alive, but the fascination, the intensity and the fascination of what creation is. The fact that anything exists in this unbelievably vast cosmos of ourself. And somehow I think it's the awakening is like creation is saying, welcome to the human being. We finally created eyes and a brain to become aware of itself. So, does this happen all over in all the other galaxies? I don't know. And I don't think the scientists know either, but we certainly know what happens here. And that gives you a much more expansive understanding of what's going on. So, for instance, the idea of the soul, some individual aspect of yourself that's a connection between nothing and the world of things. And when I say nothing, I mean it's not something that isn't anything. It is something, but it's nothing we can name, nothing we can compare it to. One without a second. Words recoil before it. You can't soil it with your tongue because it's beyond that, beyond all categories, beyond concepts, beyond ideas. So the soul is not in the body as if the soul is puny. The body is in the soul. It's in this bigger electromagnetic bioluminescent force that we totally don't understand, but it's life and consciousness at the same time. So if you're going to radically personalize this whole thing and not suffer from kind of cultural schizophrenia, which cuts you off because of how we have the economic mindset driving everything in life instead of a spiritual value. And yes, we need some things in a worldly sense. Even in Indian tradition, they're always saying art does the first thing, accumulate what you need so you're not a parasite on society. But that's not the reason why we're alive. And to make money more important than people, or things more important than people, you don't get it. So if you're going to experience what I call the blaze of existence and not let your own flame be damped down to a mere mortal incandescence, then you have to realize there's a certain kind of resilience, a glistening, a shimmering, if you will, from the stone to the galaxy itself, blazing light. And we are slowed down light. So I don't speculate about this, but I do know that we all have a part in justice making, to Tomorrow I'll discuss the four paths of creation-oriented spirituality, and we get to the via creativa. It's not just being an artist in the sense of making a poem or something. There's art in healing, in justice making, and bringing peace and compassion, because we understand that for those of us who are lucky enough not to have to face poverty, poor people and outcast people, marginalized people, they have the most trouble believing in spirit or seeing the world as a divine mirror because they're getting such a hellish version of it. And it's our job to provide other perspectives, first in our own life, so we regenerate ourselves, and then to lend a hand, right? As you've done to the least of these, so you've done unto me, said Christ. So it's our job to take care of each other, especially the downtrodden. So with that, I'm not going to put too much stress on words, even though I love talking about these things, but ultimately it's an act. So hit the mat, and I'll see you tomorrow.